I turned 27 in a sparkly dress and destroyed my own surprise party before I even knew it existed. I'm Ana. Brazilian-American, 27, social media coordinator, professional maker of cute captions and terrible decisions. My boyfriend, X. Noah, 30, is the quiet kind of thoughtful. He labels leftovers, irons his shirts on Sundays, and once memorized my coffee order down to how much ice I like. We live in Chicago. I talk too much. He listens like it's a hobby. For my birthday, I wanted a girls' weekend in Nashville because every third Instagram reel told me I did. Boots, neon signs, rooftop bars. The whole tourist starter pack. Noah couldn't come. Work sprint, he said, which is tech speak for, I'll be glued to my laptop while whispering swearing into Slack. I pouted. He promised we'd do a dinner the night I got back. Frittata place I love, candles he pretends not to care about. I believed him. Why wouldn't I? He's Noah. The girls. Priya, Danny, and C. Booked a downtown hotel with a balcony big enough for 3 people to rethink their life choices. We landed on a Friday, did the pedal tavern thing like we weren't cardio impaired, and I wore a sash that said birthday girl, without irony. A honky-tonk band played covers. The drummer kept smiling at me like I was the only person in Tennessee. At midnight, we wound up at a private afterthing that was mostly a room with dim lights and people acting like they were famous. The drummer, eerily, was the kind of hot that makes you rationalize. He smelled like cedar and bad ideas. He leaned close to ask what my necklace said. It says May, Portuguese for mom, and I laughed like I was auditioning for a different life. I told myself I was just talking. Then just talking turned into a drink on a quiet mezzanine, which turned into a walk down a carpeted hallway where every door looked like a dare. My friends were split. C was drunk enough to think everything was romantic. She later told me I looked cinematic. Danny said, "Don't be stupid." Priya pulled me into the bathroom by my wrist. "Where is this going?" she asked, the way you ask someone where a car is rolling when you forgot the parking brake. "It's my birthday," I said, because I am apparently 12. "And you have Noah," she said. "Who has never given you a reason to do this." "She's just talking," she said through the door, "because the universe has a sense of humor. Priya and I have known each other since freshman year. She's seen me pull back from the edge and swan dive over it. She also has Noah's number because I once made them a group chat for logistics. That fact will matter. I walked with Eli to the elevators anyway. He reached for my hand like we'd practiced. We stopped outside a room with the number I won't say because the floors still taste like shame. He slid the key, the light went green, the latch clicked. Before the door closed, I saw Priya and Danny at the end of the hall. Priya held up her phone. Not like a warning, just like a record. I laughed too loudly. "I'm just going in to talk," I told nobody. The door whispered shut, doing what doors do, making things look private that aren't. What happened in the room? The truth. I crossed lines I can't uncross. I didn't sleep with him, not all the way. I did enough that lines are a technicality. I will argue about definitions with myself forever. The only definition that matters is Noah's, betrayal. I woke Saturday with glitter in my hair and a text from Noah. "Airport pickup on Monday? 7:40 p.m. At ORD right." My stomach folded over. I texted back 3 hearts and a joke like hearts are disinfectant. We spent the day doing brunch and pretending the sun didn't judge us. I told myself I'd keep the line blurry enough to forget. Saturday night, Eli found me in the crowd and said, "You're dangerous," which is something men say when they mean I'm bored. He kissed me in a hallway with a camera. I didn't clock until later. The security guy looked right through us like a bartender who knows better. Sunday morning, when we packed, Priya was quiet. Danny kept asking if I'd packed my charger because chargers are control. C sang into a hairbrush. I thought I'd gotten away with it, which is exactly what people think right before they don't. Here's the part one didn't know. Friday night, while I was slipping into a future I couldn't afford, Noah was on a plane. He'd told his manager he needed Monday off for life, booked a morning flight into Nashville, and asked my friends to keep me at the hotel bar at 8 p.m. so he could set up a surprise. Candles, a cake, a printed string of photo memories he'd quietly saved from my stories. He'd packed the new watch I'd wanted, and a letter he'd been editing in his notes app for weeks. He sent the girls a map pin of a small rooftop restaurant, asked the staff to hide him in a corner, and planned to pop out with a ridiculous hat because he knows I love ridiculous hats. When he texted Priya landing, her phone was already open to the video. She didn't send it immediately. She waited an hour, probably trying to make the world be something it wasn't. Then she sent it. Not to blow up my life, she told me later, but to keep his intact. The video is 6 seconds long, me laughing, Eli's hand at my waist, the door swinging. You can hear the beep. You can hear me say just talking, in a tone that is older than the lie. Noah's response was one blue det. Thank you for telling me. She called him, sobbing apologies. He told her it wasn't her fault. Then he rerouted his lift from my hotel to the airport, walked to the Southwest counter like he was returning a pair of shoes, and flew home on the next plane out. He didn't text me. He didn't rage. He starred Priya's message for later, like it was a receipt. Monday night, I rolled my carry-on into our apartment rehearsing ways to make the weekend sound like a montage with chill music. The lights were on. On the dining table, a small white cake that said Anna 27 in pink icing, a paper crown and a shoebox. Next to the cake, my spare key on a post-it that said please don't use this tonight. The shoebox held everything on my side of the sink. Serum, the jade roller he always mocked, the hair tie he steals even though he's bald. There was a letter under the crown with my name in his block letters. I didn't open it because I already understood. Noah came out of the bedroom carrying 2 boxes, wearing a hoodie and the expression of a man who's figured out how much life fits into a trunk. He looked at me like I was a neighbor, not a crisis. I canceled the dinner, he said. Please take the bed. I'm staying at my brother's. He set the boxes down by the door and held up my passport like he was checking a lost and found tag. Don't forget this. I didn't. I started because people like me always start with didn't. You did enough, he said. Not cruel. Just true. He didn't bring up the video. He didn't ask for details. He didn't give me the dignity of an argument I could win or lose. I cried, begged, lied, then tried honesty when lying didn't move anything. He listened like a judge of effort, not evidence. When I stopped, he put the paper crown on the cake, like it was an award for something I didn't achieve. Happy birthday, he said. I booked a cleaner for Thursday at 10. Please be out by then, or text me and I'll work around it. He was always like this, solving even when I was the problem. I spent the night on the edge of the bed like that could keep me from falling. In the morning, my phone had one text from Priya. I'm sorry, and then another. I told him. I sent her the kind of reply you send when the only person you're angry at is yourself. You did the right thing, I wrote. It felt like writing with my non-dominant hand. He moved out. He never posted a subtweet or a sad boy story. He changed his status on Facebook because his mother lives there, but he didn't talk about me to our friends beyond we broke up. When people pried, he said, I'm focusing on work and my brother's dog. He declined a vacation refund and mailed my parents the old Instax prints he'd been keeping in his desk. They texted him a thank you he didn't acknowledge because boundaries are boring and correct. A week later, Priya came over with iced coffee and eyes that said she hadn't slept, either. I love you, she said. And I love him. I did what I wish someone had done for me at 23. She'd been cheated on once by a man who looked her in the face and still found a lie. I'm not going to watch that happen to someone good. I wanted to hate her. I couldn't. She still had me in her phone as Anna Banana Banana, which made me laugh against my will. We sat on the floor in a mess of boxes. He flew to surprise you, she said. He had the hat. I pictured the hat and fell apart again. I keep trying to rewrite the weekend so the camera breaks or the door sticks or I become the version of me who went back upstairs with my friends and FaceTimed Noah from the balcony to say, can you believe how good this band is? But every rewrite includes the same fact. I had a choice. I made it. The worst part isn't losing him. It's that he didn't try to make me feel worse to make himself feel better. The clean exit is a mirror I can't escape. He won by not performing. He won by leaving the cake, not flipping it. He won by choosing a life without me without needing me to agree that I deserved it. 2 months later, he posted a picture of a sunrise from the lakefront at 6 a.m. with a caption, "Mornings are underrated." People commented about routines and discipline. "I heard. I don't lose sleep over you. I'm glad and I hate it." Here's the reality check I'd give anyone listening who is dangerously enchanted by their own curiosity. Secrets feel like surprises when you're the one opening the door. When you're on the other side, they feel like fire alarms you can't turn off. Someone will always be filming. It might be your best friend. It might be the person you thought would cover for you, and instead decides to cover you the way a good friend should. By wrapping you in a truth you can't wiggle out of. I bought myself a tiny cake on my half-birthday, and put the paper crown on my cat, because cats don't understand irony. I took a picture and didn't post it. Some moments don't deserve captions. I still have the sash. I keep thinking I should toss it, and then not doing it, like the limb of a habit I can't amputate yet. I'll get there. In the meantime, I've learned how loud a 6-second video can be. I've learned that the cleanest revenge is a quiet life in which the person you hurt doesn't need to say your name to be okay. Noah never asked for closure. He gave it to himself by packing boxes, keeping the appointment with the cleaner, and letting the surprise he planned become the reason he decided to stop surprising himself about who I am. If you're me on some other birthday in some other city, go back to your friends. Answer the text from the man who bought candles he'll never use. Turn around in the hallway. You won't get a second edit. There will always be a camera. My remarks. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Well, this wasn't a courtroom ending. It was the quiet kind where a surprise party becomes proof. Her friend chose honesty over cover-ups, sent the 6-second video, and he didn't scream or post. He exited clean. Boxed her things, canceled dinner, and moved on. That's the lesson. Sometimes the strongest response is no spectacle, just standards. If you're into grounded stories where choices, not judges. Write the ending, hit subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.